air, but I want you to know, double that booster flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got clearly. Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice. So nice.
Man, oh man, thank you for tuning into my channel. But real talk, we got a lot to break down on this one. So I'm going to need everyone to hit them comments. And this issue is crazy. I'm late to even seeing this monstrous viral video. I mean, to break down how viral this video is, and then just all the viral things that stem off from this and controversy and stuff of that sort in the blogosphere is insane. And my on the internet all the time ass super late to even pulling up on this situation. You know what I mean? But that's comedian Heather Mcdonald, and she got a podcast. She's been on the scene, you know, and yes, she still is alive. That is true. Okay. But yo, I don't know why it slipped in my mind. Like, what else has she been in movie wise and stuff like that? Someone just throw it out there. I didn't even go looking into her filmography and all that. You know, sometimes I like to just come forth with the commentary and individuals can engage, you know, and I might dive in research wise on other more important parts of what we're talking about here. But this happened some time back, many months ago. And it's so crazy what she's talking about. And I'm sorry, y'all, like right before that happens, I had to beep, but not really beep, just blank some things out that she was saying. But y'all get the picture of what she's talking about, how she had a lot of different treatments and Jesus loves her and she's good to go. She's been all over the globe and all that. And then just falls out. It's so crazy when you first see it. You're like, is this a prank? Is this real? And then you're like, damn. And if you watch the fallout footage, she's laid out for a minute before they get over there. I mean, you know, obviously, I'm sure y'all can imagine that's like time lapsed after the collapse, but like she's down for a minute before individuals get up there. But anyways, she was bombarded with all kinds of internet attention to the point it like had her going a little bit mad after that. And then things died down. And now with this other controversy, I guess it's, you know how it is. Things can, metaphorically speaking, live and die many times in the blogosphere. You know, the things will get revisited, but she's actually okay. I guess she's pretty pissed at Joe Rogan as he reacted to this on his podcast and said, man, could it have something to do with the treatment? And getting back to talking about things being edited out, beeped without the beep, just silent certain things she was saying when discussing any of this. It's so tough to do on this PLATFORM, you know what I mean? But Joe Rogan said that, and then she spoke out on her own podcast saying, like, Joe, you know me. Why did, like, you know who I am. Why didn't you just hit me up? And she's put it out there to the media that she DM'd him and Joe Rogan hasn't responded or commented back to her. But if you missed it, she addressed the world in the blogosphere since this happened.
We looked back, and I did get the booster, which I had double Pfizer and Moderna booster. 3 weeks to the day of the fall. Is there anything that you've seen about time-wise? Because, you know, when I asked the doctors about that, they said, oh, normally... Okay, go ahead.
2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks is where you see a lot of this stuff. I have a friend that got the booster, and he got really destroyed by it. He still can't walk across the room. He's having all kinds of symptoms. There's a lot of funny stuff. We don't really know what it all is and where it's coming from, but it's still worth doing it. I'm not at the point where I'm saying that it's still worth the risk. But it's got a lot of funny side effects, and syncope, it's called. Fainting is one of them, and I think it's from the POTS syndrome, POTTS. And so, I was worried. What I wanted to check was to make sure you didn't have any evidence of myocarditis. When you were, that's why I wanted that, which is an inflammation of the heart, and it changes the way the heart muscle functions a little bit. And that's why I was red hot on that echocardiogram.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what can I do now? Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to get the 4th booster, though. I will say that.
There is not. There's not yet evidence. There's not science for that yet.
I'm done right now.
So you hear her talking to Dr. Drew there. She has a fractured skull, and I mean, she really smacked the stage hard body. You know what I mean? And they took her in, and she got worked up and all that. You heard what she was talking about with Dr. Drew. But it's so interesting because what's going on right now, and again, I got to be very delicate when addressing this all, is, like I said, originally when this happened, she was bombarded with all kinds of takes and questions and conspiracies and whatnot. And she came out and said, I'm okay. You know what I mean? I'm good to go. But again, how crazy is that for her to be saying what she was saying and then collapse like that? It's like absolutely bonkers that it happened in that fashion. And then, of course, Joe Rogan mentions her. That's more coverage and everything like that. But this movie dropped, documentary, if you will, called DIED, suddenly. Again, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to be careful the way I talk about all this. And in this documentary, she's referenced my guy Damar Hamlin, go Bills, Bills Mafia, was mentioned for those that don't follow the NFL. Or I was going to explain who Damar Hamlin is, but that situation got so much coverage. Individuals who don't even know anything about football know his name, actually. I don't even got to do that. Then Keyontae Johnson, who's, been drafted and everything like that. He was a basketball player.
We want to turn to that college basketball star, Keyontae Johnson, who's in critical condition after collapsing on the court in the middle of a game. Ariel Reshef joins us now with more. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, Robin. Just minutes before Keyontae Johnson collapsed on the court, he was celebrating a play with his teammates, but things took that terrifying turn. We do want to warn our viewers the video is disturbing. This morning, this shocking video, Florida Gators basketball star Keyontae Johnson suddenly collapsing on the court. The top scorer and preseason player of the year, dunking just moments before, then taking a dramatic turn.
Johnson with the strong finish off the assist.
He can be seen coming out of a timeout huddle, his head dropping. He stumbles, then alarmingly, he falls face first onto the floor. Teammates visibly upset, calling for help.
We've had a heartbreaking situation here. You see this Florida team in tears.
Johnson taken out on a stretcher and rushed to local Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, where as of this morning he remains in critical but stable condition. His family flying in to be by his side, and Coach White with him in the hospital tweeting, "Please keep praying for Keyontae and his family. We all love him." Their rivals, Florida State and Tallahassee, releasing a statement saying Keyontae received terrific care on site by the FSU staff and at Tallahassee Memorial, which has worked in consultation with UF Health. We're glad his parents can be by his side, and they all feel the support of Gator Nation. And earlier this year, Johnson, along with several of his teammates, tested positive for...
And Bronny, LeBron's son, he was mentioned in this movie. A lot of individuals are in there saying like, there's just so much controversy about this, where they're saying these individuals that made this movie are throwing all these outlandish claims out there, and that the individuals being used that I just named didn't DIE suddenly. You know what I mean? That they're in this, Heather Mcdonald herself is actually kind of pissed about this. It seems she was pissed at Joe Rogan, and she's pissed, saying that she's being used for propaganda to push this BS. And what's so crazy when you talk about this situation, again, I don't even know if this video will stay up, is you say when it comes to certain things, go to the data, go to the data, look at the numbers, but not even just talking about these treatments and those numbers that come along with that and correspond to that. I feel like you can't really trust those numbers or the numbers that go along with the original lockdown, back a couple years ago when the world and the blogosphere seemingly changed forever. We heard DOC, TORSs actually speak out and say that when people were passing away, then they were being told to tie DEATHSs to that if they could. Like, I've actually heard doctors come out and say that, you know what I mean? That it's typically when you write a death certificate, you only write what you can see, where they were saying, hey, does it seem like, can it be tied to this? Yeah, okay, we'll put that on there, like the numbers were inflated. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. No matter what side of the argument or debate you stand on, I feel like, there's just so much corruption, and we can't really trust the numbers for that, or since after, with all these treatments and these new updates that keep coming out that they want everyone to get, and that a lot of people get and a lot of people won't get. I'm not going to throw into this where I stand in that, but I'm interested to talk with everyone in the comments. There's numbers that have suggested that there has been a lot of ish that happened to people. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of interesting what you heard her speaking to Dr. Drew when she was laying out the timeline of when she got. And again, I'm sorry, y'all, it's hard with some of the stuff that I had to edit out. I've only edited things out, blanking out certain words. I didn't change or anything like that, any of the words. You know what I'm saying? Just edited certain words out. He was saying that there is indeed a timeline of a couple weeks, what do you say, like 2 to 3 weeks after one of those treatments, where a lot of people are having a lot of problems. And that's Dr. Drew, who's not saying, certain things you should get treatment wise and some you shouldn't. You flat out heard him say, 2 to 3 weeks. My one friend is still having trouble walking around. And then you actually heard him mention myocarditis, which is what a lot of people were talking about when Damar Hamlin went down, which Damar is okay, still playing for my Bills, not really getting much action on the field though. But he did get a standing ovation the other day when he came out, but hasn't been playing that much. But he is indeed alive, as well as there was a lot of people talking about, dude, I don't know if everyone out there remembers that. There were people saying it was body doubles and a clone and all this madness. He is alive and still in the NFL, but you heard Dr. Drew mention those things and say they have been tied to that, So basically what I'm getting at now is this movie, DIED Suddenly, which came out November 2022, is just in their trailer, clipped a lot of this stuff together, kind of similar to some content we would see on this platform, and has a lot of people claiming to be blowing the whistle and all this stuff, and it's just got a lot of discussions going on about all this. Heather McDonald's pissed again. She says she's being used as propaganda and all this, like it seems more or less she's trying to put all this behind her and keeps reliving it, which I'm sure that's going to continue to happen for her. But it just is sparking this very serious debate about the treatments and other stuff like that. And, what's what, who can you believe? It is wild. Again, as I keep saying, you have to put things delicately, that you can't really talk about this stuff too in depth on a lot of these different platforms and stuff like that. But I want to hear from everyone about this. Did you watch that movie? Do you think that movie is propaganda? Do you think that numbers are inflated or deflated, that the stats are tampered with in a lot of these situations? And I don't know. I just want to get that conversation going in the comments. You know, stuff is so crazy in the internet, not even just talking about this situation, as I've pointed this out before in this blogosphere era, that people a lot of times, not everyone, but there's a lot of people that say, let's say a totally unrelated situation to this. There's a video that's going viral and the video is proven fake. A lot of people will watch videos where that is broken down and still not understand that it's fake, you know? Like, I don't know. It's crazy times we're living in. But I just want to get this conversation going on about this documentary or movie, about all this controversy about Heather McDonald, about Joe Rogan and her interaction, and about these different athletes we've mentioned, and about what Dr. Drew was saying to her there. What do you take from it all? Do you think some people are lying? Some people are telling the truth? What is your thoughts across the board? Make sure to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and you know, you see this channel's called Mysterious Brew TV. We're gonna be talking about true crime stuff. We're gonna be talking about mysterious things in many forms. So thanks for watching, and we might do a follow-up video on this if this even freaking stays up. So I'm out of here. Peace.